In a couple months back, I did a video talk about films that I watched that are westerns and share my thoughts on it. This will be part 2 of that video, and I have more westerns that I watched in the recent months. So I have a lot of thoughts. Let's get right into it. Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Production Channel. My name is Production Channels, and link below into my western that I watched during the break video, part 1. So link below if you want to check it out. This will be part 2 of it because during the year of 2022, I've been deciding to watch more westerns because westerns a genre I'm very, how to say this, I'm very, not familiar, but I want to expand it more. Of not my favorite genre, but I'm starting to liking it even more throughout the whole 2020, the rest of 2020. And there are some more gems that I watched in the recent months that I decided to continue on sharing more westerns films that I watched in the recent months, like I said. And yeah, My Darling Clementine, started by John Ford and starring Henry Fonda as White Herb. And this is one of many White Herbs adaptations because there are plenty of White Herbs, movies that I have not seen the White Herb movie that I believe came out in the 90s, I believe. And there's many others. But this one I decided to watch it because one is a cartoon release and two is western and three is a John Ford film, a filmmaker I really want to check out more of. And fifth is starring Henry Fonda, an actor I really enjoy watching, a phenomenal actor, and it's a really chill story. It's nothing too spectacular in a way of action wise, but a really chill character piece film. What this film is about White Herb and his brothers, the Herbs, traveling along with the cattle and all that, and then suddenly White Herb brother died, and that's how the revenge story kicks in. But it's not really a revenge. It's more like a chill revenge. He does not want to partake revenge. He just he had no other choice than just become a sheriff in this town, and that's where the story goes on. And he relationship with Doc Holliday and all that jazz. It's a really well done film, really brilliant directed by John Ford as always. John Ford is a very interesting filmmaker. I really enjoyed some of his films so far that I have been watching, including some silent films that he made, like Straight Shooting, which I don't see, but I have seen Hellbent, which is a really good 50-minute short western. It had everything what I wanted, like great story, great characters, great performance by Henry Fonda, and the great director by John Ford. I love the setting in this movie. I love everything about this one. It's a classic black and white feel. Obviously because it came out in the 40s, so it had that really nice black and white film in a western setting, of course. And I really like this Henry Fonda take on White Herb. I mean, we've seen many different actors portraying White Herb, but I really enjoyed this western. Really good. Kind of slow burn, but it had a good story in it. Buck and the Preacher, starring Cindy Portier and Harry Belafonte, but also directed by Cindy Portier, his directorial debut. This is really good. I wouldn't say I loved it, but this is worth checking out for a film that is directed by Cindy Portier, his very first film. That alone, I had to check it out because this is his directorial debut, an actor that I truly adore and love. I mean, obviously with this film, you knew that Cindy Portier gonna be great as always. He is great in this, but I really liked Cindy Portier's direction in this. There's some great exciting moments in this movie. There's some emotional moments in the movie. It balanced that really well because Cindy Portier, he's an actor. He's a very well experienced actor. He understands how to tell a great story while giving a great performance. He balanced that really well as a director and as an actor, which is his directorial debut in studio film as well. And he did a great job directing it for his first feature film in a western. There could be some challenges because this is a western. This is a big studio release, and I was impressed by his direction. And I love the greedy look of this movie. It's very dirty and it's not clean, precise. Really enjoyed the chemistry between Harry Belafonte character and Cindy Portier character. Two complete different character. I mean, obviously Cindy Portier is more like a almost like a bounty hunter in a way, and Harry Belafonte is a preacher, but with an interesting backstory. Really enjoyed this. I had a great time watching it. Not only that, because I geeked out, but this is Cindy Potay's first film that he ever directed it. And that was monumental for me because I love his work so far that I've seen. And it takes place in the Civil War, it's like the slavery times, and just trying to get away from the slave owners, hunters, basically. And that's what the story is all about. That Cindy Potay, as a wagon master, and his community trying to get away and get out of the United States safely, so the community can live safe and sound. Because I believe this movie takes place in the end, or like already ended the Civil War times, the slavery thing. But all I can say is a good movie, and I would recommend seeing this movie because this is Cindy Potay's directorial debut. It's a very important part of his career, not only as an actor and also as a filmmaker as well. Really enjoyed this, had a great time. I don't love it, but I'm really glad to see this. Shenandoah, starring the wonderful James Stewart. This was surprising. This is a very unique, different western. This is not like a full-on western, cowboys and all that. This is about a man played by James Stewart. He's a family man. He cares about his sons and his daughter, and he has a big family. He has a farm that he owns. And then it takes place during Civil War times. James Stewart character does not want their sons to enlist or go to the war because how important his family truly is. And a lot of things happens. A lot of things that would change the course of a family, that would separate. What makes this film surprising for me is that how emotionally powerful this movie is. It took a turn that I did not expect going from this movie. Like, oh, look at the poster art in the cover. I expected a lot of action. James Stewart with a shotgun. Like, I thought, and also there's war going on. I expected like a lot of action going on in this movie. But it went completely different tone and story that I really liked that. A different pace to the Western genre. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time just watching a great performance by James Stewart. It's a really mostly story focus and character focus than more like a Western focus, if you will. Ending truly shocked me. There's a moment in the movie that just shocked me. My jaw dropped on the floor, like how the story progressed, but not only the story progressed and how it took a turn of events for some certain characters in the movie that I don't want to spoil it. It was so sad and just dark as well. And you're just rooting for James Stewart character to bring his family back together, one piece. But something happened in the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it. What just happened. It's really great. I really enjoy it. It probably could be an underrated gem that people need to check out. Really enjoy it. It's not only because it's James Stewart. James Stewart's in it. That's a bonus point. But it's a really good story that took me by surprise what kind of story it is. Because I went in going cold and blind. Except that I know that James Stewart is in this. Yeah, this is a hidden gem for Western genre. If you want to get into a Western genre, please check this out. Different pace into a Western genre that is different from other Western genre. Johnny Guitar, directed by Nicholas Way and starring Joan Crawford. This is pretty great. Nicholas Way is a filmmaker I've been getting to his filmography recent years. Last year I watched In a Lonely Place for the very first time, and that film blew me away. And then I watched Johnny Guitar, and I watched Bigger Than Life, which is another film that just blew me away. Both of them are available in Criterion if you want to know, and check them out if you're curious. And Johnny Guitar is his Western film. Bigger Than Life and In a Lonely Place and Johnny Guitar are completely different films. One of them is a film noir, the other one is a melodramatic family drama. This one's a Western. But what made this film so good, that this is a female-led Western. That's what makes this movie so cool and unique, because this is a female-led Western, and I believe this is one of the first. If I reach it, I think this is one of the first. It's fast-paced, there's energy, the characters are great. Joan Crawford is amazing in this. Really, really enjoy this. I love the direction by Nicholas Way. I love the colors that this film was brought. I love the story that this film takes on. I really enjoyed that. Not only is it's a female-led western film, but it's a Nicolas Ray film that is a western genre, which is actually pretty cool. That Nicolas Ray as a filmmaker has a variety of genre that he has done. Obviously, I've seen 3 of his films, but I would love to check out more. This is great. There's betrayal, there's trust issues, there's love, romance, there's deep backstory to the characters, and a lot of great stuff that you can enjoy in the western genre. And also bonus point for Ernest Borgnine, who I did not know that he was in the movie. That when he was on screen, I was like, big smile on my face. I love Ernest Borgnine. Yeah, Johnny Guitar is fantastic. I love the fact that the female lead in this movie, played by Joan Crawford, is not a damsel in distress. She's tough, she's strong, she's great. She's a great character that I was kind of rooting for, and I really enjoyed it. And there's a particular character I did not like that just annoyed me, and I forgot the name of the actor. She's a character who disliked Joan Crawford character, and I like the banter between them, and all the men, the police, the police team, were on her team, even though she can be a very pain in the ass and annoying. Nobody trusting on Joan Crawford character because of her backstory and all. But really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. The next 2 are fantastic movie. The first one, Wild Bad, is High Noon, starring Cary Cooper and the wonderful, beautiful Grace Kelly. I love this. Oh, this is my jam. I love it. It takes place in one day. It's basically a story that takes place that will lead up to a duel, and it's great. What makes this movie so great is the sense of urgency between Cary Cooper character and somebody else character that has a rich backstory about between them, that they're setting up for a duel in the later movie, and how Cary Cooper character just got married with Grace Kelly and wanted to have a life, but Grace Kelly keep telling Cary Cooper character to come with her, come with me, and forget about this and all that. And it's a revenge story, but most importantly, this is a duel film that takes place in one place, one time, one day, and lead up to that duel. It's phenomenal, and the sheer waiting how this film's going to end and how this film's going to end, and waiting to lead up to the duel, that will eventually become a duel in the movie. That was just so riveting to watch. Me as an audience see how the story can play out, but at the same time when the duel is going to happen, how it's going to start and how it's going to end as well. Really enjoyed it. I love this movie. This is a film that had been in my mind for quite some time in the last couple of months. That just blew me away. I love Cary Cooper in this. I love Grace Kelly in this. It's a great western. Overall thoughts on High Noon is a riveting watch. And lastly but not least, I saved the best for last. That is The Man Who Shot Liberty Balance, starring James Stewart and John Wayne, and directed by John Ford. Wow, what a film. This is fantastic. This is a film I do not want to tell you the plot of this movie. I just want you guys to go in cold and blind and knowing that this is a fantastic film. Wonderful. I love James Stewart character in this. He's a lawyer, want to become a lawyer, trying to get things right and trying to do good and all that. And John Ford, he has a lot of backstory to him, and he doesn't take it too seriously. All he do is what he want to do. And there's so many great backstory between James Stewart and John Wayne characters. Really love this. It's a great release by Paramount+. This is a 4K release. Look at that. That's so cool. I really love this movie. This is fantastic. I love the chemistry between James Stewart and John Wayne character. It's just a love and hate relationship between them. It's like they're buddy heads to each other. Before I forget, what I love about this movie is how the story was told, and how it's a very unique western because the way the story was told, like I said, and how the film starts and how the story finally kicks in, what the story is, that The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and what the story is that about. It's a great way to tell a story and how to start a movie from there and on to a very enjoyable film. And on my other favorite aspect of this movie, one, the storytelling aspect of it, the other is the two different opposites of John Wayne and James Stewart character, that these two have different ideas and different molds, the way they do it in the word of justice and the meaning of justice. John Wayne wanted to kill it right there and there, and James Stewart wanted to do something completely different and something that they wanted to do at like a trial scenario. That's what I love about that, because these two, John Wayne character and James Stewart character, butt heads a lot in the movie because of them having two different ideas and molds, and how they are totally different from one another. John Wayne is more like, a very brave cowboy, but with a personality into them that he's kind of like a douchebag in a way, and show off a little bit. And James Stewart character, Ransom, he's a lawyer. He wanted to do justice in the correct way, not by killing. He was more respectful. He's willing to help others. That's what I love about this movie, because you have two characters that are completely different, and that made the film even more enjoyable to watch. Yeah, so far this is my favorite Western film that I watched. I mean, High Noon and Liberty Balance are close to each other. I love both of them equally. And this had a very interesting backstory that John Wayne disliked High Noon, and it's basically a remake. They wanted to do it their version of High Noon, basically. That's the backstory of why John Wayne did not like High Noon, and he decided to do his own version of High Noon. I love both equally, no matter what. And also, like, yesterday I decided to go to Half Price Books and bought myself a VHS copy of High Noon and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, because I'm a big fan of both of these films, and I want to have a display piece for these two great westerns. So yeah, I love both of them no matter what. This film is so rich, so engaging, so much fun. It's very enjoyable, and I had a great time watching this film. That's not a single moment that felt dull. It's all exciting and yet so engaging to watch how James Stewart character grow and how John Wayne character plays out in the movie. Really love this, really do, and I highly recommend this. If you want to get into Western for the very first time, it's either this and High Noon. I mean, fantastic movie. There you have it, guys. Those are the Westerns that I watched in the past couple of months. I decided to share you my thoughts on it, because why not do a part 2 of it? You can take this as a recommendation video as well. Check these movies out. Highly recommend. And yeah, have a great day. Take care.